Hello, District 19 Toastmasters. My name is Chris Sheehan, and I'm your Club Growth Director for the 2020-21 Toastmasters year. Thank you for taking the time to join us. I'm really excited because we're joined by our guest, Mary Lou Saylor, and she is a social media strategist for a company called GrowRealCompanies.com. Mary Lou, thank you for joining us in this conversation today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's dive right in. Can you talk a little bit about your background as a social media strategist and what exactly Grow Real Companies is?
Sure, absolutely. I guess it was about 7 years ago, I was in a social media training course online where I met my soon to be best friend, and she became my business partner, Tracy Bars. She already had the company sort of rolling along a little bit, but we went through professional training together, and she offered me an opportunity to help her in a way. And so our company is devoted to primarily small businesses and entrepreneurs and helping them with either social media training, because not every small business person can afford to hire someone to do their social media for them. Or if they're in a position where they're just so busy and they need a professional, then we can do that for them as well. We also help with other marketing things, things like setting up Google Forms for different events that you may have, doing postcards and different things that kind of contribute to the whole look and brand of what businesses need. And we also do some brainstorming with sessions with people and things like that.
Well, it sounds like you have a real expertise in social media. Can you talk a little bit about what the value of having a social media presence is?
Sure. I think one of the biggest advantages is before social media came on the scene, you would market through mailings and maybe the newspaper and different ways like that. But this opens an opportunity for you to control your message, to get out exactly what it is that you want to do. And so, and the bonus is it's free. And so for especially for small businesses and entrepreneurs and people even that are trying to help organizations like your chapters grow, it's a very affordable way. And if you just can kind of figure out what it is that you need to do, like I said, you can really control your message. And also the value of having one of these, my favorite saying is it's like having a TV station in your pocket, because you can do anything anywhere around the world as long as you have a cell phone signal to tell people what it is that's going on in your business, your organization, and things like that.
Now, there are a lot of platforms out there, everything from Facebook to Twitter to LinkedIn to Instagram and now whatever TikTok is. With so many platforms, where do I start? Do I need an account on all of them, just one of them, a couple of them? What should I do?
The best suggestion is to start with the one that you feel most comfortable on. If you're already on Facebook, start there. If you're already on Instagram, start there. But do want to do it well and then add things on, because if you're trying to be all things to all people, you're not going to do anything well. Um, there are sort of different themes depending on what kind of business you have. Instagram is very picture heavy, and people are looking at beautiful pictures. So if you're a baker and you create these wonderful, loaves of bread and things that are very visual, well, that might be the medium for you, and then to add several pictures to. Not that you can't do Facebook, but you have to see where you are.
Once I have my platform or platforms picked out, how often do I need to be posting content?
I think that really, if you want to be successful in the social media game, so to speak, that you need to post at least every day. And maybe that's just one post. I will say that when you get into times, depending on your business, my business partner and I noticed that really close to holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, that like engagement goes down because people are thinking about buying presents and things like that. They're not thinking about, what do I need to do for my business? So there may be times when you can back off a little bit, but you always want to have something out there for people to just remember.
Coming up with something to post once a day sounds like a lot. Where
Right.
do I go, or how do I come up with ideas for posting that much content?
I think that it's really, you can kind of come up with a formula, not that you have to do the same thing each week. But I'll take an example. One of my clients is a dentist office. They had been in practice for over 40 years and they didn't have a Facebook page. Well, I have a very good relationship with one person in the office, and we do a planning session once a month. We actually pull out a calendar. Actually, I have it right here, and you can see all the crazy notes that I've written on it. But we go through, because this is a practice that everyone in the community pretty much already knows. They're not the only dentist, but because they have a lot of longevity, people know people in there. So we have found that it works really well to show pictures honoring people's birthdays. They have a pretty big staff, so throughout the year, that we know that there's going to be at least one or two birthdays a month. In fact, for May, there are three. Any work anniversaries, because people love to show appreciation to people that they've had some interaction with. And because a lot of these, like the dental techs, have been there for a long time, I mean, really, it's limitless. And once you start thinking about it, I do a lot of training with churches, and I could tell them pictures of hymnals, a picture of a pew, anything like that, or an empty pew, and you can say, hey, we're saving a seat for you. All of those kind of things, an ice cream store, if you have new flavors that are coming in, or what would you like to try, asking people what they want from you, is another way too. But asking questions is a great way to get some engagement and some conversation going too.
Now, let's say that I'm a month into this and we really haven't been seeing guests come into our club, or we're not really getting new members off of our social media presence. Should I give up?
No, you don't give up, because this is not a quick fix. It is hard to win people that are loyal to your page. I would make sure that, even though Facebook is starting to get away from, and I haven't seen it on any of the pages that I manage yet, but eventually there won't be liking of a page anymore. It's just following of the page. So encouraging people to do that. But right now, you still can go in, and if people have liked a post on your page, you can check and see if they've actually liked your page or not, and invite them to like the page. So that's one way. But don't give up, because I've had people that have been clients of mine, and after 2 months, they're like, well, nothing really new has happened. And it's like, you have to be in it for the long haul. It's like working with a financial investor for your money. It's like, okay, well, when you're 20 and you've put, $5,000 in something, and a month later you haven't made any money. Well, you're really in this for retirement time. So you're in it for that long haul. And so you want to make sure that you just be consistent.
Mary Lou, this has been some great advice that you've given. If you could sum it up, and there was one thing that somebody who's looking to kickstart a social media presence for their Toastmasters Club should know, what is that one piece of advice?
I would say, don't make it so hard that you don't want to do it. So I said you should really post every day. And for most businesses, I'm talking about 5 days a week. But start with 3 posts or 2 posts a week, and just build from there. Don't make this so hard that you don't want to do it anymore. And that's where consistency is really important. But don't make it hard. Just start easy. And it's kind of like learning how to do anything. You don't get it that first time around, and you have to become more proficient in it. And then just keep adding little things. But be consistent.
I think that is a great lesson. Consistency is key. Well, Mary Lou Saylor with GrowRealCompanies.com, thank you for taking the time today and talking about social media presence with us. If you have any questions after watching this video, or any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out at cgd@district19.me. And remember, even though we're coming up on the end of the Toastmasters year, we still have those great marketing incentives out there for every club to take advantage of. If you saw something in this video today and you were inspired by it to start your social media presence, please remember those incentives are there. We have the funds available to you to help jumpstart that social media marketing plan. Again, thank you for taking the time and watching this. I look forward to hearing from you if you have questions.